That was quite the countdown.
Yeah, it's kind of obnoxiously long.
Well,
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our live stream, all about Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
If you're here and you're watching, yes, thank you for coming on. If you're here, everyone, tell us you're here. Comment. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Emily. Hi, Julie. Let us know that you're here. We're going to be raffling off some things today, as the usual. First things first, as you all know, there's a book coming out. If you're hiding under a rock, it's this book, Forever Dog. It's coming out. We'll have it here next week, and you can win a copy of it today by commenting live. Next, I'm going to show you guys this because Green Juju's here in-house. We're going to raffle off a bag of the freeze-dried goat food, and then a chance to win a ticket to the More You Know Pet Wellness Summit that is sold out. Green Juju is one of our partners at this event. Billy Hookman is one of our speakers. If you don't know, he works for Green Juju. So anyways, I will let Kelly talk. Welcome. Thank you for coming on. For those in the audience that don't know who you are you, Kelly? What do you do?
I started this company called Green Juju 10 years ago. Kind of like we were talking about before, I started it for my yellow lab who I got when I was 19, who was my big wake up to everything dog related. I used my college degree to start a dog walking business. We play at the dog park all day, every day with a bunch of other dogs. And then when I think she was 9, she got a rare joint tumor. And that kind of rocked my world and changed the trajectory of everything. They didn't know much about this cancer. They just knew that conventional therapies didn't work, and the recommended treatment was amputation. And she was really sick and weak and had yeast and low energy and chronic UTIs and just all these issues. And so I knew I couldn't put her through a major surgery. And so the good thing about the cancer was that it was locally aggressive, but slow to spread. So I got the okay from numerous vets and oncologists to kind of experiment at home and just see what I could do. So I turned to nutrition because I was going through some health stuff myself. And I figured, let's fight inflammation, support her joints and detox and all these things, doing different foods that I was using. And that's really how Just Greens was born. I made my little concoction, and then I talked to our vet and a nutritionist and our conventional vet, holistic vet, and everybody gave me the okay. And Bailey was on that for about 14 months, and she completely turned around, and she was healthy and vibrant and bouncing all over the place. And so we did go ahead with the amputation, and she lived for another, I think, 3.5 or 4 years. Yeah, when she was almost 14, she ran away from me 2 weeks before she passed. Like, she never slowed down. So yeah, she was that like wake up call to just like, whoa, what am I doing? My friend, she benefited from everything I learned from her. And for a long time, like we talked about, this was just kind of a little hobby company that I did out of the basement of my husband's warehouse and delivered to local stores in Seattle. I honestly never meant for it to really become a business, but like the word got around to people and stores started calling me. I was like, why not? And now 10 years later, it's grown into this internationally distributed company with a whole bunch of products and full food recently. And it's a beast.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, I remember when you guys were just the greens, and yep. I didn't even quite understand it at the time. And I was like, why am I adding these vegetables to my dog's food? My dogs don't like vegetables. But, again, we all learn from our pets, and we learn, and, I learned about why that would be such a good fit. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just crazy how things evolve. And yeah, you guys have expanded a lot. So you used to make it out of your basement?
So it started, we were living in like a 500 square foot condo. So I was making it in our little condo, and I was making the bone broth in a crock pot, and it was like a loft condo kind of thing. So there's no doors or anything. And my husband's a contractor, and he has never done anything so quickly as make me a commercial kitchen, because he hated waking up to the smell of bone broth, which I don't blame him. So he has a big commercial property in Seattle and rents out different parts of it. And so he made me a commercial kitchen in the lower level of his building. And it was a super sweet spot. It was right on the water by this marina, and there was like this big patio where the dogs would lay out and chew on their bones while I juiced, and it was quite idyllic for a little small business startup.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, we were talking before we had the live about that's kind of how, not that I'm making anything, but just start small and how kind of things kind of grow organically. So what has like been the scale? Like, you're the owner of the company. I think a lot of people, as like at least on my side, because you're West Coast, so my customers that come in the store, they know Billy because he comes to the store. And in fact, you and I haven't even met in person yet. So I feel like I've known you forever, but so what does it look like now as like, you're a woman-owned business, you're still a very small business, but you have lots of employees. What do things look like on a day-to-day basis now, and like how you guys are growing in your products and things like that? That was a lot of questions in there. Sorry.
It's okay. I would say that everyone everywhere knows Billy. That's not a coast thing. I'm kind of in the scenes. Like I work on my computer a lot. I'm always working on like packaging and marketing and new social media things, and just making sure the ship is going and orders are going in and payments are coming in, and innovation of new products and suppliers, and just all the little things that it takes to keep this thing going. I think I've been doing this for 10 years, and I don't think I've ever successfully taken a vacation. I've put up an out of office a couple times, but within 24 hours, I just respond to my email so much to take it down because I just actually out. But no, it's been great. The company just in the past year, actually, this weekend, we have our work anniversary for Jeff, who's our sales rep, and then Christy, who is our Washington sales rep and our inside sales rep. And then Billy's 3-year anniversary will be this weekend. So just in the past year, it's really grown. Like, we have territories and we have salespeople and we have regular meetings. Like every week we have Zoom meetings, and it just
So
feels
professional.
We have like reports that we look at together, and we had a big booth at Global this year, and we will at Super Zoo. So like we weren't, spending 8 hours on the floor in tears trying to put together IKEA stuff. We had tears.
I was not there, but I saw the pictures. So
yes. Yeah. And there was a bunch of us at the show, and yeah, it's a team now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to see where it's growing. So in terms of like products, I know we're mainly talking about you, but I just kind of want to refresh everyone's mind about like what you guys offer, what you guys carry, and before we get into some of the questions. So obviously you guys started out with the greens, and that's like the greens and the broth and all that. What other products do you guys carry?
Yeah, so we started with the just greens, which is dark leafy greens with a bison bone broth. Then we brought on the Bailey's blend, which is also dark leafy greens with a turkey bone broth, because we heard that like people wanted hoofs or feathers and couldn't do the other one. Then we were one of the first in the industry to be doing bone broth, but we did it in a different product. So then we eventually released it as a standalone product. So we have bison bone broth, venison bone broth, and duck bone broth. From there, I think the whole food bites were the next. So with that, we paired organ meat with different colored plants. So you have like bison green, which is bison heart, liver, and kidney with kale, dandelion greens, and kelp, or like pork pink, which is pork organs with strawberries and parsnips and beets. And so the idea there was that I really like to, kind of going back to my dog walking days, I like to make it really easy to make nutrition easy and fun and convenient without overwhelming people. And so I thought the whole food bites were a great way to get people great nutrition without having to overthink it too much. Like, they're treats, dogs love them, and they're getting good stuff. So we did those. Then we also did trainers. So we have salmon, bison liver, and rabbit trainers. So those are just single ingredient. We did the raw goat's milk. Also did the fermented paste. So we have Bam's beets and Lua's golden paste. And then we launched into the freeze-dried food. So that is pretty much all organ meat. It's a super limited ingredient diet. It's just the organ meat, a dark leafy green, and kelp. There's no fish oil, no synthetic vitamins or minerals. Very a great base diet, very limited ingredient. And then just this past spring at Global, we launched the frozen version of all those foods.
Yes, I think that was the one that everyone was waiting for. And I know we were really excited about it here. And we had already cleared out space in the freezer, which is a hot commodity around here. So I think for me, as someone, I have a lot of animals. I have 11 currently, which is crazy. Dogs and cats, and they all eat raw and they get all these different things. I think what I appreciate about Green Juju is that everything is just simple. Like, there's not a lot of fuss to it. I mean, in terms of like your freeze dried, and now there's the frozen, but I've always told people with the freeze dried, it's the shortest ingredient deck I have ever seen on a panel. Like, almost makes you kind of, in the beginning, I was like, is this complete? But I was like, I know it's complete because Billy formulated. So like, it is, but it's just so small. And like, for people who come in and their pets have allergies or they have issues, it just fits so well. And that, we have so many different questions that are asked for us all the time, and it just is very simple. And I really appreciate that. And I know my customers do as well. So you guys have been very good about, your products, and there's like always a thought to it. It's not just like, oh, let's make something to go to market and like make this cool new product just because everyone else is doing it. Like, it's innovative, it's cool, it's different. So, and I appreciate that. So
thank you. Yeah, the entire company has been a byproduct of me having 2 dogs with health issues. My Frenchie was just kind of a classic Frenchie with, the skin issues and the allergies and stuff like that. She didn't have any like chronic health issues, but I called her like my Ferrari because she was just, it took so much effort to just maintain her perfectly. And if I got all the foods right and all the environmental things right, she was amazing. But like, you had to know all the right things to do. And so many of the products that we make are just things that I could never find. I struggled so much to find complete and balanced raw diets that didn't have fish oil in them because both my dogs were triggered by fish oil. Or the raw goat's milk. We wanted something that was just pure and simple, not fermented. You can ferment it if you want, but my Frenchie reacted to fermentation. So it was, everything had a purpose, and everything, all the novel proteins are all because of their protein issues. And we created a little line for them.
It's been good. We have some new people in here. Hi, Kim and Ruth Ann. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Does anyone
have what'd you say?
I said, Billy's going to kill me. I forgot to mention the wild fermented mushroom probiotic, but in this product.
The mushrooms. Yeah. That one's cool. Everyone's talking about mushrooms. So that one's cool. And it's something different. And if you haven't tried it yet,
it's been very popular, and it's, it's only $10 for that little thing that lasts for 30 days. And it's a great value.
Yeah. I forget. Do you remember off the top of your head? It's loaded with probiotics. It's very high.
Yeah. I think it's 10. Don't quote me on this. I think
hi, Jessica.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Sorry, that was a sciencey question.
No, I think it's 10 billion per ounce. I have to look it up, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, I could have looked it up too, and I didn't. Does anyone have any questions for Kelly? I know someone has a question here. Y'all always come ask me questions. Everyone's just talking about how much they love your products, which is great.
That is great. Jessica asked a good question the other day, but I can't remember what it was. So maybe that will be answered somewhere else. Hold on.
Emily said, hold on. She's helping a customer. Emily works at another pet store. Not my store, but another pet store. That's awesome. All right. Here's one. Kim wants to know, what is your favorite product?
My favorite product, I think, will always be the Just Greens. Just because it was my passion getting into this, and it was it's really what opened my eyes to what nutrition can do and what you put in the bowl, how it impacts your dog. The kind of cool thing about when I made it was that I had the dog walking business. And so all of my clients knew what was going on with Bailey, and they were like, well, what are you doing for her? I was like, I'm making this green stuff. And this is back in the day when everybody was laughing at you for feeding greens, like you mentioned, like, what do you do with
Yeah.
this? And so like, I don't know, here you go. I was like, I know it's safe. I don't know. I know why I'm feeding it. I don't know what it'll do for your dog. And people came back saying that their dogs were shedding less, or they had less goobers, whatever, that they weren't eating poop or all these different things. And so it really opened my eyes to see why all these things were happening. And then I went down the rabbit hole of researching how could this be impacting what people were seeing. And it was just so cool to see this just kind of in the commercial pet space, like untapped thing that we could do to be helping our pets in such a like easy, simple way of just plopping something into the bowl and seeing an effect from it. So it was almost, I don't know, kind of like a little science experiment. Like, oh, I do this and I see this. Cool. So that will always be favorite.
It's crazy how just like changing things and adding things, the difference. And, my dogs eat everything. And, it's such a, to this day, like working in the store, it's still a very like foreign thing to be like, what do you mean your dog eats that? Or what do you mean your dog doesn't eat the same thing every day? And, hopefully people are starting, I feel like it's catching on, but it's still just so common. So kudos to you for like creating that product. Another question is, has anyone tried to see if if cats will drink the mushroom probiotic?
Cats are hard to predict, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think the thing about the mushroom probiotic is that you don't need a lot and it's liquid.
Okay.
So it mixes into other foods.
Okay.
I have heard that cats have drank it. I have also heard that cats reject just about everything. There are cats that love something and don't like the same thing. So I would say it's worth trying. We have heard success with cats.
Okay. Well, hey, I've got 6 that I can try, and I haven't tried it on them, so maybe I will. Which that does lead me to cats. So people ask all the time, like, why is your food not in the cat section?
Mm-hmm.
And can cats eat it?
Yeah. So the feedback that we got when we were developing the food was that, and you can weigh in on this, that most retailers want something that's marketed specifically for dogs and specifically for cats. And that a lot of customers are turned off by things, especially food that's meant to be the complete diet that says dogs and cats. You can get away with it on treats or supplements like bone broth or something more. But in terms of food, people really want to know, I'm feeding a dog food or I'm feeding a cat food. And since this was a brand new product for us and we were just launching it, and honestly, we're a tiny company with no investment, this was a big step for us. And so we went ahead and did the dog food. And because in order to do both, we'd be doubling our inventory, doubling our packaging, doubling the number of SKUs we have to track. It just wasn't sustainable for us. And so we went ahead with the dog food, and we just educate to the fact that it was formulated to meet the AAFCO requirements of dogs and cats.
Okay.
And in fact, in order to make a dog or a food that will work for a cat will work for a dog, but not the other way around. So yeah, that's why we did.
Okay. Well, that's good. Let's see. I saw some other questions. Jessica wants to know, what's your favorite movie?
I saw Jessica. Why did you throw the hardest question at me? I have no idea.
It's such a Jessica question to ask. It is all about Kelly, though. We didn't say it only had to be about food here.
It depends on what mood I'm in. Like, I'll tell you my plain movies because those are like my go-tos.
Yeah, let's go.
So my like inspiration, I'm going to global or like a big thing and I need to get like in the mood. My inspiration movie is Joy. Similarly, one of my favorite movies is Silver Linings Playbook. One of my I've been away from home too long and I need something comfy and homey. I think it's, God, I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called like Home Away or something. It's by Reese Witherspoon. Who knows? It's like one of those like super trashy movies, but it makes me away.
Hey, as long as you're getting benefit out of it. Well, there you go, Jessica. There's her. You got the action movies on there?
God, you'd have to ask my husband. I don't even pay attention to the names of movies. He's just like, you like this one.
Like, oh, it's a good movie. I like it.
I like Captain Phillips. Kind of actiony.
What movie?
Captain Phillips, that Tom Hanks one with the. Do you remember that one?
Drama, but yeah, okay, I'll give it to you.
Well, it has a lot more action too.
That's true. It's very, very, very suspenseful. Julie asked a question. Do you have any nutrition certifications?
Nope, I do not. I know that turns a lot of people off, but I don't. I've been self-taught and self-led. Every product that we do is run by vets, or in the earlier days, nutritionists. So we formulate to, what we want to do, and then we run it by professionals.
Yeah, I have 0 certifications as well, and I can answer all kinds of questions about all kinds of things. And I think that's people that are in the pet industry, in the pet space, whether it be pet stores or yourself, like, we read a lot, we learn a lot, we're always watching things. So I think that's, we don't just have this like one book that someone gave us and that's the end all be all. We're always learning, we're always evolving. You yourself said it, you keep coming with these new products because you've learned something else. So don't think that someone has to have a certification for that. I mean, because people ask, myself too.
I think it's that like intrinsic obsession that you just constantly want to learn more about something, and you're seeking out the information and absorbing it. And, it may not be a certification, but I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's counts for less.
Right. This is a good question that Kim asked. I also would like to ask this question, because I've asked Billy and he said he'll get on it and then he doesn't. When can I buy swag? I have none and I need it. That is Kim from Natural Pet Essentials in Charlottesville. We want Green Juju things.
Okay. So we got this a lot, and then we sold it on our website for years. And I think we sold orders in like 3 years.
Really?
And so we kind of just like let go of it.
We have an audience right here. I'll buy some.
I know we have t-shirts and stickers and pens. But if you find us at a trade show, hit us up. We have them at trade shows. If Jeff visits your stores, he always has them on him. You could harass Billy to bring some with him.
Billy will forget.
Well, I don't know. You can work on them. We don't ship them just because like they're already expensive, and shipping on top of them is very expensive. But we have loads of them at trade shows. So come find us, and we will be happy to hook you up.
Kim said, like, the more you know. Well, maybe you can bring some things.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other questions? I'm trying to think. Did I have some? We've already answered all of that stuff. All right, you guys. Y'all need more questions?
What is the health benefit or difference between having the product be fermented versus not fermented?
I totally missed that. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, there's benefits to both. Fermentation is amazing for a lot of the reasons that we already know, but there are some pets that just don't tolerate fermentation well. I've noticed specifically bulldogs seem to not do well with fermentation for whatever reason, and that could just be my like narrow, when somebody says they want to buy a blue Subaru and you see them everywhere, this could just be like my seeing it so much. But I think back to kind of the premise of all of our products, we want to make it as simple as possible and give people the option to customize it how they want. So with the goat's milk, we just wanted to do like the bare bones, true raw goat's milk, because we believe that nature does it as perfect as it can be. And then if you want to ferment it on your own, you can. Another benefit to that is that you can ferment it with different probiotics every time. Because when you buy a product that is already fermented, it's often, depending on how it's done, but most of the time it's inoculated with certain strains. So you're getting those same strains over and over and over.
Okay.
Whereas if you do it yourself and you can use different probiotics every time you do it, then you're going to be providing more diversity to the microbiome. On another tangent, kind of a similar concept to our wild fermented Bams Beets and Lewis Golden Paste. Since those are wild fermented, every single cup has a different set of probiotics than the cup before. So that's kind of in a way, like a naturally rotating product.
Okay. That's interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Jessica wants to know, how fine is the bone grind in the frozen?
That was your question. She posted that somewhere else. So it is double ground. So it is very fine. It is very fine. However, since bone is very malleable when it goes through the grinder, it is possible that a larger piece that could get through. So if you're looking to gently cook the food and you have a teeny tiny dog, that would give me pause because we can't guarantee that a larger piece didn't get through. That's the only reason that we say that. And we do recommend feeding it raw. So,
Okay.
But if you look at it visually, you can't see it.
Okay. So you said it's double ground?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then I have one more question here, and we can maybe take another one after that if there is one. But Emily wants to know, are you guys participating or approaching some type of sustainability with your products?
We are always trying to learn more and do better, just as everything is evolving.
Cartons for the milk.
Cartons for the milk. Yeah, I actually have some samples for compostable cups for the frozen blends on my desk right now. The packaging supplier would not confirm whether they could hold frozen materials. He's like, I don't know, why don't you test it? So a lot of the problem is that we don't want to use plastic. We hate using plastic, but a lot of times we need something that can sustain the product and, not leak. Nobody wants that either.
No.
So I think there's been a lot of advancements in the industry, in the packaging industry in terms of that. And we are there for it. And we are exploring options. But we also have to make sure that your products aren't leaking in your fridges and on your feet because you guys don't like that.
Emily said, show us the new cups, or it didn't happen. Maybe for next time.
Jessica, I want to answer this. I pay more for glass. I would love to give you glass. I don't know a distributor that will distribute glass because it breaks. And that was one of my, way back in the day, I wanted to do glass and everybody told me it's a no-go. And I haven't, in more recent conversations I've had, that hasn't changed.
Yeah. And then Kim wants to know, is there a new veggie or fruit and veggie blend on the horizon? If I know Billy, he's probably got 20 things on his plate. He's probably got some he hasn't even told you about.
He does always have 20 things on his plate. The plant world has kind of been my domain. So maybe that's why nothing's come out because I'm just trying to keep my head focused here.
I mean, it's not like you're busy running a company or anything,
I know. Gosh, I would love to do another one. I guess I always kind of come back to the retailers and what do you guys need? What do you guys have space for? Do you want a fourth veggie blend? I don't know. I would love to do one though. They're so much fun. Back in the beginning, I used to do.
There's a lot of you just keep seeing all these different, and don't quote me which ones right now, but different fruits or different veggies that are not in some of the space already, that have shown lots of benefits. I don't know. It could be, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's definitely, in terms of the veggie blends, another thing to consider is you have to have something that's available in large quantities, that's available year round, that can be frozen. There's some stipulations to it. Because there were a lot of ingredients that I got super excited about, but they're not available year round, or they don't freeze well, or But yeah, I would love to.
Something with some blueberries or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly where my head goes. It's the blue.
Yeah. Something. Yes, we'll talk on that later. That's an idea for you, though. So, all right. Well, I don't know if anyone has anything else. If you are here and you haven't commented already, make sure you at least say hi, because that's going to get you guys in the raffle to win some stuff that Kelly hopefully will be here in July. We don't know yet. But Green Juju is a part of the event, and their stuff will be at the event as well as in the store. We carry all of their products here at Nautical Dog. So we love you guys here, and I appreciate you coming on, sharing this, and me learning a little bit more about you. And yeah, it's great. Yep. Thank you so much.
We have a comment about the freezer program.
Okay.
Bummer.
Do you do freezer? Bummer.
Bummer. Okay. No, we absolutely do freezer programs. Reach out to us or to your distributor rep, or just info@Green Juju if you don't know who else to reach out to.
Okay.
Yes. It was an inside joke. Yes, we do freezer programs.
Yes, you do freezer programs. Yes. You know what? I don't think I took advantage of that freezer program, but that's okay. And
Still open.
What'd you say?
You still can.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I need more freezers. And Shauna just came on. Shauna, you're gonna have to watch most of it, the rest of it later. But lots of good things on here, and I know they buy a lot of your products as well. So it's yeah, good times. We will all see you in July. If like guys, if you have any questions, email me, come into the store, email Green Juju, Facebook them, Facebook me. You can get a hold of us. So thank you so much for coming on, and I'll see you in July.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks.